Hello, world. Welcome to another week of Golf Subpar. Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. Sleaze, we just finished the FedExCup Playoffs, and Dustin Johnson is king, kind of like he's been for the last month on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it feels like the season just restarted after the restart. Now it's over already, and DJ just hit a different gear in the last month, and it's been weird. It's like we've seen little clips from this before. I think it was 2017 where he had like 3 wins leading up to the Masters, and then fell down the stairs or something weird. Something happened to him, lifting a jet ski, whatever, and hurt his back. So we've seen him go through stretches like this. But, dude, I mean, you rewind like 5-6 months ago before he dropped to like 115th at one point on the FedEx Cup rankings. And then in the last month, it's just been like, bam. And it's been an absolute beatdown.
Yeah, I mean, he's like you said, he's gone second, first. He's had the 54-hole lead in all 4 of his last 4 events, which is just nuts. Sleeping on the lead, going into the final round every time, and he just continues to show up and perform. I mean, the only 2 he didn't win, he loses in a playoff at the BMW Championship to a crazy putt from John Rahm, and then Colin Morikawa shoots 64 on him in the final round of a major when he went out and shot 68 with the lead.
Yeah, dude, he's inches away from winning 4 straight leading up to this thing, and I don't think at the end of this week, like, you can say whatever you want about the format, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but, like, the whole deal of this FedEx Cup playoffs, let's identify the guy that's playing the best at the end of the year in the playoffs, and without question, you got the guy. I mean, for the first time in a long time with all the juggling that's been going around from world number ones, right? It's been kind of like a game of hot potato. Like, JT has it, Rahm has it, DJ has it, whatever. For the first time in a long time, like, this guy should be here for a little while because he is clear-cut playing the best golf in the world right now.
There's no doubt. And how about this stat? He took a 5-shot lead into the final round of the Tour Championship. That was his 12th 54-hole lead of 3 shots or more in his career on the PGA Tour.
Yeah, that's a grizz of 54-hole leads of 3. This one's a little different since I guess he started off with a lead, but there's still 11 other ones. Yeah, have 3-shot leads. And that's the thing, dude. When you start with the lead, it's different. You know, no one ever starts off on Thursday with a 2-shot lead, but just sleeping on the lead is a different deal altogether than just, you know, getting a lead on a Saturday and sleeping on it one night. When you're sleeping on it 4 nights in a row, that's a grind. But my man DJ did not look too disturbed by pretty much anything out there. I want to get the data on his whoop and see what his actual heart rate gets up to because it looks like it's like my sleeping rate.
I think he's a little more nervous than he shows, but that's what's so great about him because I think the other people look at him and they're like, oh, this guy's not panicking and he's trying to win $15 million. I got to do something really special to catch him. But I think we need to talk about what he does on the last hole of these tournaments off the tee. Like, it is so impressive. If you go back to even when he lost the U.S. Open at Chambers Bay because of the 3-putt, the tee shot he hit off the par 5 there into this 10-yard neck, and it was like 340 yards long, was unbelievable when he won the U.S. Open at Oakmont.
That's the one I mean, just a 360 missile.
Mm-hmm. And you even go back to the Travelers in the Hartford just a few weeks ago. Same thing, steps up 354 right down the pipe when you got to hit the fairway. And then same thing with this week. Steps up on 18, 2-shot lead over Xander.
Could have easily hit an iron, a 3-wood, whatever. Been like, I'll make par, you go make eagle, and we can see if you can get a playoff.
Yeah, I mean, so the tournament's definitely not over. A lot of people, I feel like, kind of thought it was, but he steps up there with driver, absolutely blisters it, and ends up having an iron into the green and makes an easy birdie to go ahead and win by 3.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I feel like when he's under the gun, he wants driver more than anything else. You know what I mean? That's probably the club that he's got the most confidence with. You mentioned like 4 or 5 different times. The one at Chambers Bay where he hit the drive down there and he had like 15 feet to win the golf tournament, 2 putts to win, and ends up 3-whacking it. But, dude, he got down there and I saw where his ball was. I was like, how is driver even in your thought process right there? There's literally 15 yards maybe of space for you to hit it, and he just grabbed it and hit it. And that's why when he's doing that, and he didn't even drive it really all that well this week, especially the first couple of days, man. He's hitting no fairways and was still able to hold on to that lead and hold it throughout the week, dude. He's an absolute beast right now. But there's a lot of conversation about the format. Do you like the format of this thing? I know they've juggled it a few times. This is our second year with staggered scoring. Do you like the way that it's structured right now? And if you're going to change something, what would you change?
So I do like it compared to the years past. You know, when you didn't know where you stood, and if a guy made a putt to finish 8th, he could take the FedEx Cup trophy away, stuff like that. I like knowing that the winner of the Tour Championship wins it. Now, do I exactly like the difference of 10 shots between 30th
Right.
and
Is 10
first?
too much?
See, I don't know. And is giving a guy a 2-shot lead too much? I don't know. I just know that whoever plays the best should be the number 1 seed going in.
Right.
You know, match play is too dangerous.
Yeah, let's
for
get
TV.
to that because match play is like that's what a lot of people propose.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just put 32 guys in and run a match play, and then winner takes all. But then it's like, all right, let's take this year for example. Let's say there was 3 events like there typically is before East Lake, right? What if DJ goes first, second, and he's just steamrolling everybody. He gets in there day one. Dude, you could easily catch the 32 seed who goes out and has a day, and bam, there goes Dustin Johnson out of the tournament. He's clearly been the best player, got beaten one round, and now he's not in the field anymore.
Yeah, and that's why I don't think that format works. I think a lot of people at home think that, but then obviously if you're making it to the Tour Championship, you're a great player and got a name that most people know, but still, it's no disrespect to some of the guys. If it ends up with those two at the end, two lesser-named guys.
Lanto Griffin versus
Mackenzie Hughes.
Brendan Todd.
Sure.
No disrespect those guys.
Yeah.
You make Eastlake, you're a beast. But, like, TV-wise, does that move the needle for you versus, like, final round, we got DJ, Rahm, Rory, and JT all right there?
Yeah, in the last two groups, it was the number 1 ranked player, 2, 3, and 7. Yeah. I mean, what do you – in the final standings for the FedEx, number 1 wins – number 3 finishes tied for second, and then Jon Rahm finishes 4th, and he's number 2 player in the world. Like, you got all the guys up there. Like, this is what you want your leaderboard to look like. So I don't understand why people are so frustrated with it.
Yeah, I agree. It's supposed to reward the best player. If you want to just say, hey, the whole goal is just to get to Eastlake, and then it's a free-for-all, you can do it. And I think, in theory, it's pretty cool to have like a 18-hole match for $15 million. I think a lot of people would like to see that. But the risk, TV-wise, is you run into one of those deals. And there's going to be upsets. Look at the match play every year at the WGC. Nick O'Hearn beat Tiger Woods, for Christ's sake. You know what I mean? Like, that wasn't good for TV. Well, you run into that at Eastlake, it's like, all right, this is not exactly the finale
if you have the Tour Championship and it's just, everybody starts at 0 and winner takes all, like, kind of what's the point of having the other rounds?
What's the point of winning the first 3?
I mean,
let's say you win the first 3. Now I started even with these guys, and it's just winner take all in this thing. So I think they're doing it right. I don't know what I would change. Like, is it perfect? I don't know. I think maybe starting 10 shots back, those guys that are in 30th, I don't think you can really win it. Rory came back, I think, from 7, right? I mean, and Rory's a special beast. And Xander came back from 7
Rory came back
and almost
from 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. He came back from 5.
Rory came back from 5. Xander was 7 back this year and made a run. I mean, but
so maybe do you tighten it, but then so what? You give Dustin Johnson a 1-stroke lead over Jon Rahm. It's like he just finished 1st and 2nd, playing the best of everyone. He gets 1 shot over Rahm. Rahm goes and birdies 1, and DJ bogeys it. And now it just flip flops. It's a lot of work to not get much of a lead. So I don't know how you do it. It's not like a team sport where you're playing one team and then you advance and play another team in advance. It's different.
I had the idea because people didn't like Dustin starting 2 shots ahead, but I was like, okay, well, what's the deal if he wins the first 2 legs of the FedExCup playoffs? Like, he could have, if it was a points game, this thing would be over because he's so far ahead.
And they changed it out of that because VJ did that.
Yeah, so why not each win? Let's get to take a stroke off the score going into Eastlake. So if Dustin would have won those first 2 playoffs, instead of starting at 10, he starts at 12. Now he's got a 4-shot lead because he's obviously dominated
he won by more?
Yeah. Interesting ways to think about it.
I don't know if, like, the only thing I would think I would change right now would be, like, the guys that start 10 back. Is that too much? Like, in theory, they're, could they win it? Yeah, I guess. If lightning strikes and all the guys at the top play terrible and some guy gets on fire back there. But, I mean, how many guys can win tournaments by 10? We saw DJ do it just recently. I think there's maybe 2 guys on tour that can do it. Like, I don't really feel like those guys that starting at 2 under, 1 under, and even are really even like a consideration. I mean, it would have to be a freaking like aligning of the stars for any of those guys to play their way in and win it.
But that's what I think should happen. There's a reason they're coming in 30th and Dustin's coming in 1. So I like that. Agreed. You should have to play the best tournament in your life to catch a guy and win $15 million.
Right. Just in team sports, if we're going to draw that comparison again, like what happens in the NFL? You go undefeated in the regular season, you're the number 1 seed. Guess what you get? A bye. Then what do you get? Home field advantage the rest of the way through, all the way to Super Bowl. That's a pretty damn big advantage. Home field advantage is pretty damn big. I'd argue a 1-game home field advantage is bigger than a 2-shot lead in a 72-hole golf tournament.
I totally agree. Well, let me ask you this, though. $15 million is on the line. Sleaze is in the final group. How many shot lead do you need at Eastlake?
Who's chasing me? Who's chasing me?
Dustin
Paint the picture right now. DJ is my nearest guy. How many shot lead do I need? Am I playing tomorrow, or do I get a little bit of time to tighten up? I did just come back from a golf trip, so I am fairly tight.
No, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, DJ is hunting me down. I'm going to pencil DJ in, chasing me for 66 to 5. Pencil the Sleaze in at Eastlake. Tricky. I'm not great at Bermudical, as you know. I'll have to go with give me 7, and I got a chance with 7.
So you just said he shot 66. You're going to shoot 73. You're going to shoot 72 to win.
I might, dude. I've done some crazy things in my day, bro.
What
would you take? Seriously.
What do I think you
There's
need?
only one guy chasing me. It's DJ, basically. I don't got Rory sitting there at 8 back.
I don't know. It's just a hypothetical.
I know. I like to dig into these things pretty deep, though. With 7, I'd take the bet, I think.
Okay.
I got to stare him in the eye, though. I don't want him playing in the group behind me. I want to look him in the face when I take that 15
Send him a DM,
million.
see if y'all can settle up for that 15
Settle that up. You saw Kisner said, how much would a 12 handicap? How many strokes would he need this week going into it? What did Kisner say? 68?
68.
68 pops on a 12.
A 12 handicap.
That would be a fun way to add a little juice to this thing. Just let the Eastlake C flight winner of the club championship show up and play and see where they go.
Let the club champion play.
Yeah, good point. Let him play.
I mean, it's still a totally different deal. It'd be awesome to watch. But congratulations to Dustin Johnson, this year's FedEx Cup champion. And guess what, guys? You get to take a quick nap, and you tee it right up again now for the 2020-2021 season.
Yeah, that's going to get annoying to say. We're going to call this the 2021
I totally agree.
We cannot do that all season long. That'll be disastrous. We have enough tough time as it is.
That is true, but I cannot believe the season's already starting. And look, we just got a little break, and then the U.S. Open is right around the corner at Wingfoot.
Dude, we're coming in hot right now golf-wise. Like, we talked about this on our radio show today. If you get hot right now in golf, which there's a guy doing it, you got a chance to do some weird stuff because you got more big tournaments crammed into a short period of time than there's ever been in the world of golf. I mean, DJ's going to be the huge odds-on favorite at Wingfoot, as he should be, but then you turn around and then you start trotting out all the other you got the Masters right after that. Then you got, run it back with the Masters again, and they just start coming, man.
Yeah. Do you think he can continue this run?
Shit. Yeah. I mean, look at him. What do you look at him and say, like, nah, that'll probably go away? I mean, when he gets like this, dude, we've seen it in little stretches before. It's hard to play this well for this long. Stretch that out he's been doing it for about a month now. Stretch it out for another month or two to get to the Masters. Like, it's tough, but damn, how you bet against the guy right now?
Yeah, he's looking great, but I tell you what, I cannot wait for the U.S. Open at Wingfoot. I mean, with just all the top guys playing well. I mean, you got JT,
like Rahm's right there. He's playing great. JT made a push. Didn't putt it great the first couple of days, or he would have been right there.
Awful.
Yeah.
Or he would have been right there. But, I mean, Rory showed a little bit of form for a couple of days last week. It's going to be really fun to watch. I can't wait to get another major going. It's going to be fantastic. But speaking of major, you had one of your majors. Took a little trip to Bandon Dunes.
Yes,
we've
buddy.
touched on. And I heard you got a little story for Funny Money for us.
Yeah, a little funny money story. All right, so Colty took a little golf trip up there to Bandon. Wanted to work on my traj, flighting it down. First couple of days, we get normal Bandon weather. It's blowing 30, dude. It's the real deal. It's tough. We got a couple loopers out there. Shout out to these guys, Jason Castles and Nick the Stick up there at Bandon taking care of us. We're having a good time. We're having some pops. We're cruising around. I think it's the second day I've been playing. We're at Sheep Ranch, okay? And it's a super foggy day. Wind wasn't crazy that day, but we get up to this hole. It's not a hard hole. 425, 30 yards. Typically plays into the wind, but no wind. There's like a 100-yard gorse right in front of you that you got to carry. It's no stress. But our caddy takes one of my boys' clubs out. Our boy, Drew Kittleson, takes his driver out, flips it upside down, and starts swinging it left-handed. He's got a nice action left-handed. I'm like, obviously he's a lefty. And I was like, oh, man, you got a nice move. Do you play and all this stuff? You actually know the guy. He used to loop at the Rock, Nick. Mm-hmm. I don't know his last name. Just call him Nick the Stick. Anyway, so he's flipping the club upside down. I was like, man, nice move. I was like, can you play like that? He's like, not really. I was like, come on, tee one up, let's play. And he's downplaying, like, nah, dude, I probably can't do it. I was like, all right, I'll give you a prop. You make better than double, you win. You make double or worse, I win. So over and under 5.5. And he's like, okay. Then the other caddy, Jason Castles, chimes in. He's like, all right, I'll take Nick. And I was like, okay, this feels like maybe you've seen this before.
They've done this before.
So I was like, all right, $100, let's go. Get up there. I put this all on Instagram, so I was following it. You could watch it. He gets up there, takes a practice swing. This first drive he hits with the upside-down club. Dude, he hits this 260-yard seed, baby fade. Looked like what DJ was hitting yesterday with like his 2-iron. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm in deep shit. And then the hole that we picked, you could bounce the ball all the way. You could putt it from 100 yards if you wanted. He flips this 2-iron upside down, chips it up there, rolls right by the flag, over the green, chips it up, 2-putt. Easiest $100 this dude ever made. And immediately I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, and then right after, I was like, y'all done this before, huh? And he's like, yeah, this ain't the first time. Yeah. I was like, you sons of bitches.
If you can't spot the sucker,
it was me.
You're the sucker.
It was me. Then we ran it back the next day, and I was like, all right, same bet tomorrow, but I get to pick the hole. And we picked a harder. It was like 470, slight wind in, and he had like an 8-footer to win back-to-back days, and thank God he missed. I couldn't have handled a double fleece.
All right. Well, I'm glad you made it back, safe, sound, and not totally
Barely.
So,
you had a little trip, too, a little Chi-Town.
Yeah, I played some golf up there. Beautiful place. Beverly Country Club.
How good's that joint?
As long as you get there safely.
Don't make a wrong turn out of that
wrong turn.
joint, bro.
It's a lot of fun. And then I went over to Conway before realizing that I have no future as a travel agent, Sleaze.
Yeah, I heard you had a little mix-up. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, so I was coming home. I decided to change my flight a little early because I had a friend coming in town and didn't want them to be left alone all day because I was coming home that night.
Being the friend that you are.
Yeah, so I was hanging out, having a good time in Chicago, getting amongst it, as we say.
Good for you.
And decided to book my flight while I was
What time of night was this, would you say, when you're swapping flights out?
10:30, 11.
Yeah, good time to switch it.
Yeah,
all right, keep going.
Seemed like the right idea. So, wake up, 11:50 flight from Chicago the next day, come home. Everything's good. Get in the Uber, 10:20, plenty of time. Going to be early.
Yep.
Heading there, and I'm like, man, this is kind of weird. I haven't gotten like a notification to check in, anything. So I pull up my American Airlines app, and, well, Sleaze, my flight was booked for October 5th. And it was September 5th.
The old 1 month off
so I just missed it by a month. Had to call American Airlines. The lady had a laugh at me. I told her the whole story, and they were able to get me on a flight a couple hours later. It was all good. But
good news for you. If you're in Chicago a month from now, you're already booked home, dude. You don't have to sweat it.
And also, if I ever offer to book you a flight, just say no.
I would never allow you to do that. I have enough issues with myself. I don't need to hand it off to another guy. But the old 10:30 at night after 12 go flight changes, those are nice.
It didn't go very well.
Well, we had a little session. That's why we had no guests for this week. Colt and I were both out of town getting amongst it. We're going to be back soon with our normal routine here with some great interviews coming to you. But first, we got to get to some questions from producer Mark. What do we got?
Got 3 questions for you guys this week. First one coming in from James Walker on Instagram is a bit of a gear question. He doesn't care what brands you're playing, but he wants to know what the composition of your bag is when you're going into a tournament style play.
Oh, like how the 14 clubs, like wedges and all that. What do you got?
Well, mine are all Callaway. Shout out Callaway. I have a driver, a 3-wood, a 5-wood.
Smart.
Yeah.
What else?
A 4 hybrid, which is my baby.
That's the one I hate more.
Yeah,
that's like most
that makes people
people's
nervous.
Lob wedge. Yeah. All right.
And then I go 5 through pitch and wedge.
Okay.
And then I go my wedge lofts are weird because I just go straight off numbers. And for some reason, when you have the equal gapping, my numbers don't go right. So I have a 50-degree gap wedge, 54 sand wedge, 60 lob wedge. So 6 degrees instead of in the 4.
I'd rather see you hitting your 8-iron into a green than that fucking 4 hybrid. I hate that thing. Like, is it 215? Well, this is a problem.
That's
guys.
Gary.
That is Gary.
That's Gary.
You got a little ape head cover. I hate that little bastard.
He's the best. But that's how I do it.
All right, that's a good setup. You want to hear a little secret I got right now? I'm about to reveal to the world. When I'm not playing a tournament, I play with 15.
Shocker. Yeah, that's how I do it.
I didn't even realize it until just recently. I was like, oh, dude, I've never taken this club back.
Does that disqualify you from
probably
the
for all my
Rom?
winning? No, dude. When I play for real with Rom, that's 14. At least we'll call it that. My normal setup, I got driver, 3-wood, hybrid. The hybrid's like a 2-iron hybrid. Then I go, this is where it gets interesting. I go 3-iron all the way down, but I got 4 wedges. I got 60, 56, 52, and wedge. So when I'm playing a tournament, I take the 4-iron out. Because if I take the 3 out, there's too big of a gap between my 4 and hybrid. There's a massive, if I have like 230, I got nothing for it. But that way I can just kind of open the face of a 3-iron or smoke a 5.
You're more of a member guest player nowadays.
Of course.
Do you take the club out during a member guest?
I do. I'm a man of my. But by the way, if I go through one of those, there's somebody at a member guest. It's like some rules die hard that'll be like, oh, you got 15, you're disqualified from every match. So yeah, I take but it's the 4-iron every time I take out. I suck with the 4-iron anyways. I don't even know why I have it, but it's nice to have 15 in there. It's a good punch out club.
It's true. All right, what do we got next?
Next question comes from Connor Gartner on Instagram. Now, Connor was our 7,000 follower. And I like to interact with the fans a little bit. So I said, hey, number 7,000, whatever question you want, I guarantee I will ask on the next episode.
Okay.
That's
Congratulations, Connor.
Shout out to Connor.
Followers.
Appreciate you.
He wants to know the next golfer to win the career Grand Slam in your eyes.
Oh, I thought he was going to ask like.
So did I.
I was getting ready to make up a lie that didn't incriminate myself.
Well, I don't think I'm going out on a limb here or anything, but I'm going to go with Rory McIlroy to win the Masters.
I think that's the only. He or Spieth are the only guys like close right now.
I mean,
Phil
Phil can win the U.S. Open.
Phil could too. He's a betting favorite this week at Safeway too, which is shocking. But yeah, I mean, I go Rory right off the jump. I mean, he's got to get Augusta. I mean, place should be perfect for him, although it hasn't happened yet. But yeah, got to go Rory.
One more for you guys. This was addressed to Sleeves, but I think you should both answer it. It comes from Casey Young, again on Instagram. Who is your trash-talking mentor?
Oh, God. I got one that's good.
All right, go for it.
And he doesn't play golf. But he does play golf, but he's not like a tour player or a pro golfer or anything. And that is a man that resides in the great city of Denver, Colorado. Shout out to the Mile High City, Brandon Stokely.
He's good.
Former NFL wide receiver, a man that without Peyton Manning would probably be shoveling piss off the floor at a gas station. But Peyton just fed him footballs right into between the numbers for his entire career. And he's actually responsible for getting Peyton to Denver, so God bless him for that. But Stokely's he's a Louisiana guy, right? He's got this little Cajun draw. Sometimes when he gets going, he gets a few drinks in him. Sometimes you need like Rosetta Stone. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what you're saying. But he can go. He keeps going. He shoots about 95, but somehow he's always in every single bet. And he's got some really, really good raps. So I'll give it to my man Brandon Stokely on best smack talker out there.
That's good. I mean, hard to go wrong. I've talked to Stoke. He's
very,
a beautiful
very bro.
I don't know if I really have a mentor. Mine's just I appreciate good trash talking, though. So I'll give you a couple great trash talkers on tour. How about that?
That's good.
Obviously,
That's
Phil
good.
Mickelson, no surprise, very, very good. The sneaky one, I don't think the guy's get enough credit, Matt Kuchar.
Yeah, I've heard he's super dry, super funny. He's got some good one-liners that he's hit Phil with in the past too, when Phil was giving him grief.
Honorary mention Jason Duffner as well with the dry sense of humor. He can give it
Really?
to you. Yeah, Duff's good.
Duff gives it?
Oh, yeah.
What's Kuchar's line when they were playing a practice round at Augusta, and Phil had this like hideous green belt on that matched, all green. He had this when he had the green gaiters and all that, and Phil said something like, Matt made a comment about his belt, and he's like, yeah, dude, you win. How many jackets does he have? 3 or 4?
You get this one. Well, he said it when he said it. He said, "Yeah, you can get one of these when you win 3 green jackets." And
Matt,
said, I hope I only win 1.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I hope I only win 2 or something like that. So nice one. Yeah, I've heard Cooch is sneaky funny.
Well, Sleaze, we do have to talk about our gambling picks for the year. They ended this week at the Tour Championship. We had a lot on the line, and with the Tour Championship format, it makes it kind of difficult.
Yes, we had to get creative.
Yes, because obviously, if you got the guy that wins the FedExCup,
I had Dustin.
You're going to win the whole thing. So that makes it a little tough. So we kind of tried to figure out how to do it in just a regular format if it was a regular tournament. And producer Mark and I sat down. We did the numbers as close as we could, and it came out that you just barely won by less than $100,000.
Yes,
so congratulations.
Thank you, Colt.
Still not sure if the numbers were correct.
It feels right.
Close enough. But we're not going to do any picks this week for the Safeway because we're going to try to figure this format out. If you have any suggestions, send us a note on Instagram.
And wagers, if whatever should be on the line, send that too.
Yeah, so we're going to definitely try to figure that out this week so we don't have this problem again next year.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll give you congratulations.
Thank you very much. It was a hell of a battle. I was dead in the water a few weeks ago. The stars aligned for me.
Well, and then you changed the rules in the middle of the season, but I mean, whatever.
Well, yeah, dude, what do I got? You got to do something. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So I had to come in with something.
Excuse me, New England Patriots, y'all have won 16 games in a row. Y'all have to play with 10 players on the field.
You get no quarterback. Yeah. Figure it out. Tough shit.
Come on. Let's get the rules, and we'll set it all up, and we'll have a real winner at the end of next season.
Do you want me to give you the good news?
What's that?
You got a loop for me for 18? I'm super dialed right now. This is going to be the easiest loop of your life. It's just point and aim, lasers right there. I don't even want numbers half the time, dude. I'm just feeling it. So this is going to be an easy 18 for you.
All right. Well, congratulations. Everybody enjoy the new PGA Tour season. We'll be back on next week's Golf Subpar.